lovely co-caster Wolf. Either way, we're taking a look here once again at the roster of Gen G. This, I don't think, will change for the entirety of the year. I don't think this team really needs any changes at this point. One thing to note about Gumayusi, we were talking about, it looks like he has grown, but also he was very energetic. A lot of the players kind of just, politely walk out, do the bow, and go out. But he actually stared down the first camera. He was clapping after everybody else started clapping. He looks really reinvigorated after taking some time, and I'm sure a lot of people, after he got his chance, maybe thought he wouldn't come out with Teddy ahead of him, but no, he's going to get another chance.
Prior on it. Now, you'd expect this to go towards Gumayusi, because that's where we have mainly seen the Ziggs. I think in mid lane it's also a bit easier to punish him. And 11.13 is a point where Ziggs hasn't received the nerfs yet that he will receive in 11.14, where mana pool is considerably nerfed, so his early game is a lot more consistent, and he does still benefit from the cost reductions that were given. This is a classic counter to Lee, but I do not like the state of Rek'Sai at the moment. This makes a lot more sense if you want to go consistently for that poke style. Do stand by my point that I would much rather see something a bit more consistent for Kana, something that if it falls behind can still have a big impact with how much better tanks are looking with the introduction of Anathema's chains. But not going to be the case here. Jace picked up very early, and that is still flexible. This is also a flex pick, the Gwen, but I expect it to go towards Cuz.
Yeah, funny how things have changed. Ooh. But instead, a little bit of a throwback there. Ruler trying to bring that one out again, as TF is going to be the choice here.
And if you hadn't locked everything, if you hadn't locked everything in, the Jax would have actually been like really high value, interestingly enough, because you can negate so much of the pressure that comes through from the Volibear and the TF. But of course, all the solo lanes already picked. As, this is the epitome of a good luck Ruler. Yeah, have fun on your own. We are going to dive the enemy back.
Here we go. Rascal has his flash, but is that going to be enough? As the stun will come in, the burst damage from the two players of T1 will be enough, just barely. Faker going to be able to pick that one up as Kana had to get out with the turret aggro. That is how you use one of those winning lane. No, just going to get Kana totally out of position, and down he will go. That's only the one kill, and it's traded back by Gumayusi. Ends T1 pick up the Rift Herald, so they kind of laugh their way to the bank as Ziggs casually does 1,800 damage.
Risky play from Canada, but in the end it does pay off. With Gumayusi untouched, he can throw bombs to his hard extent. And more importantly, as you pointed out, because of that overextension from Rascal, I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
But it's not very common. Oh, Rascal.
Yeah, he's okay. Even Kana's here, and there's of course a bear on the other side, and he has ultimate with red buff. You're just not getting away from that one as T1 commit 3 to pick up, again, a pretty free kill up on the top side.
T1 playing this composition beautifully. It's just really, really well executed across the board, Make use of the pressure that Faker has.
As well, coming on over, and I think T1 have done a decent job of bullying them out, but now Kerry is going to need an arrow to the back. It is just on a knife's edge right now. BDD trying to do his part.
Kuma's mana getting low.
Yeah, at some point you just run out. That's a nice engage, and actually Clid, he gets the kill onto the dragon, and BDD is going to feast on some low health bars here. He gets the one, but he's going to trade his life for it as Gumayusi, that is one sad Ziggs. As Ruler and Rascal on the run here as well. I think T1 in a good spot to take both of them down at least. As Rascal also going to get flanked here and go down. But at the end of the day, Gen G did pick up that Infernal Drake, which is more than worth its weight in gold.
And now it just means as T1, you are still given the opportunity to take over this game. And that's what you need to do. It is, in the end, after what feels like a minute-long stalemate in the middle of the river, the mana bar is getting low. Kaz has to, walk to a camp just to smite W it. But in the end, it is Gen G that picks up the Drake. Really nicely done by Clid. However, the fight on the back foot of this is lost as T1 has a lot more firepower available. And this is really where you see the payoff of their entire early game, really, as well as the fact that Ruler also had no mana left. Ultimate still available for Curse, which is the freest pickup ever. And as a whole,
see who comes out ahead this time around. Gen G might consider some kind of maneuver here instead of getting just poked out to death, as it's going to be T1 actually that go for the maneuver. as that is the insta-cleanse out of Ruler. BDD over the wall. He's just going to get the GA by himself away from Kana. And Ruler's going to live here. We got the kick for disengage. And BDD is still full health. Look at the amount of damage he's getting done, but he can't do it all alone here as Ruler now trying to kite back. And you can see that T1, they say no more poke out of this LeBlanc. We just got to engage and take them out. And that they will. They're going to secure the fight and the Drake here as Clid is down.
Immaculately played there by BDD, but it's not enough. And this is where T1 reaps the rewards of how well they've been playing this early.
At this point in time with a pretty nice gold lead here, and they're picking up some Drakes. Gumayusi maybe now the one who has to be scared. As we see the damage now is just insane. That's going to be the stopwatch blown, and he's not in a good spot. There's no peel for the T1 jungler. And down he will...
Actually contesting for the Inferno is also going to be almost impossible.
The Destiny helps out so much in keeping them alive, and Ruler's going to have to flash away. Look at the poke that they have. As the turn comes in, and Kana is just going to blow up the Lee Sin. Down he goes, and even BDD is going to be going down here. They thought they had him, but it was actually the clone. And now Ruler's all alone with no flash. He has the cleanse, and look at this. Putting on the moves, but unfortunately, he is all alone, and the TPs are coming in. T1's trying to end the game.
That was a 50-50 call there from Kana trying to get the final kill. And now, the death times are, I think, relatively short. I don't actually know if you can actually end the game with how low your health bars are. T1, they want to go for it. I don't think it's going to work out. Ruler is there.
Oh, they're going.
God.
They're
oh, God. Soul's online as well.
Yeah, they have a Ziggs, and that's some insane dodging coming out from Faker. And look at this, just flashing forward. Faker's going to go into his audience. They just got to hit the Nexus here, and I think they will have enough. There it will be, 32 minutes. And T1 are going to shut this game down before it gets too out of hand. We were all...
And important win. The battle has not yet been fought. Yeah, that's no surprises there.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the game we were in.
Yep.
The two melee supports are like, I did things.
I was there.
Keria pressed his R button a couple of... I saw it. He probably got 1 or 2 stopwatches out of the enemy team.
Volibear, which means that now T1, if they want to, can go for LeBlanc and the Lee. Because I think LeBlanc Lee is actually really good at neutralizing the presence that an Akali will have, both in terms of laning phase and afterwards, where you can reveal, you know, LeBlanc has a really good matchup into... or you can just go for something similar, pick up the...
Jace Akali.
Yeah, I think you just pick Jace Leona, honestly. Just go back to that. I think that was a nice combination. Carry obviously very comfortable on it. Gives you a really strong bot lane that can play both aggressively and defensively very well.
I just feel like Akali is really strong, but...
I agree.
It just feels like, I don't know. As T1, if you're not going to ban it on blue side again, are you just going to leave it wide open because you just don't expect Gen G to play it? I suppose so. As it looks like we are running it back here for T1, Jace and Leona.
Oh.
Italy. And Renekton. Who could have guessed? The wonderful duo is back again.
That's not the angle I wanted. To be fair, I think Renekton's really good into Akali, so that is something. I do not think Nidalee is in a particularly good place. Maybe Cuz is going to go for Moonstone Nidalee.
Nope.
You know, that'd be
nice
great,
thought,
actually.
but it's not going to happen.
that'd be really good. Yeah, provides. Later on is going to be so incredibly terrifying as BDD, who also.
Well, we're looking to increase those numbers here tonight.
This
0%.
is a good start for it, okay?
This one, they're trying to burst down Keria, and will they be able to? The answer is yes. They take a lot of damage in the process, and Faker is frontlining like a madman. He's going to be able to take down Life. You can see that this Rift Herald is so close, actually, to resetting, but it will go the way of Gen G as Kana's trying to get in there. He will go down, but trade a kill. As Faker's still full health and a huge menace, they want to pick up as many kills as possible. BDD still has that ultimate available, and he will be able to get over the wall. But maybe not the same to be said here for Ruler and Klid as they are just hunting them under the turrets. Cuz gets pretty low. The Shuriken is going to miss. And Cuz is just running into him, trying to get the bait off, and he will. Baits them both back in and will survive as now the Shock Blast comes in. TP coming out from Rascal as he's trying to help out his team. The fights never end here. T1, they're still looking for more.
They're gonna keep going?
Yeah.
Carry us back!
You might as well. I mean, the health bars are full and they're gonna be able to get more as life goes down. Cuz is gonna be totally fine. How about some bonus plates? It's a feast here for T1.
That's what we want to see from Renekton Italy, baby!
One, like I said, throw this Rift Herald down, use that to get pressure. The Ziggs plus Rift Herald combo is just disgusting. There's no real other way to say it. You just take free turrets every time. And again, they can just get position here. They've got the plant as well to get Keria back to full health. Let's see how Gen G try to maneuver this as Gumayusi actually takes a lot of damage. T1 this time, they even have the healing from Nidalee. So some of that poke as well from the side of Gen G is negated. As Faker is behind, they're trying to get in here, but we have a stopwatch as that's BDD going in, looking to get somebody, but he just gets nearly blown up and will get burned down by Cuz. There's just really no hope here for Gen G. They tried to make it happen, but that's going to be two. Klid has to eat the spear, but it doesn't matter because Jace is in the game. And I love this from T1. They're never backing down from a fight. Only Ruler will survive again. As 4 members of Gen G go down, T1 have over 6,000 gold in the lead. You don't want to try to fight in this game? Okay, that ult's not going to do anything. This is probably their best chance. They're trying to take out the Ziggs. As well, okay. Well, we're going to ult away now. They're trying to get on top of Keria, but it looks like the damage is just too much here, unfortunately. Double kill for the Jace, and even Ziggs get into the action. I didn't even see BDD die. Like, what? It didn't even look like he was in that fight. That's just the unfortunate state of things here for Gen G. T1 are just demolishing them here in game number 2. And that's just the way it's going to be.
10k gold at 24 minutes!
Yeah.
I just need a moment to take this in. Faker, by the way, just because you pointed it out, he went for Chain Vest. He didn't get a stopwatch, or he could have done even more in that fight, but we joke because there is really not that much more to say about this game. That is...
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a really nice turnaround for T1, and like we were both kind of commenting. Uh-oh, Ruler. Yeah, that's, yep. Go back to the fountain again. Rise and focus, of course, in the items here for Gumayusi. And again, it's not even that Teddy was playing poorly. I think it's just that Gumayusi deserved a chance. And I mean, this is a great comeback for him in game number 1, pulling out the Ziggs a couple of games. See if it, you know, draws out a big ban a couple of games in a row against their next opponent, whoever it is. As Gen Z, they're going to give it one last chance. As well, that was, yeah. This is just, they're just going to push this one in. A gigantic shock blast to the face. As now Faker's just going 1v3 on the back line, basically 1v5 now. As in goes BDD, does a nice amount of burst damage, but again, we're just going to drop that safe full of cash onto the heads of Gen G, and T1 are going to take the massive 2-0 victory tonight in very swift fashion, very dominant fashion, as they absolutely crush Gen G 2-0.
I could have seen a Gen G 2-0. I could have imagined a hard-fought battle between these two, but in line with the entirety of the LCK thus far, quite a surprising result here, but an incredible upswing from T1. The Gumayusi swap working out.